So we're here at the Giza Plateau for the first time for me since 2012, so I'm just delighted to be here with the Resonance Science Foundation, Nassim Haramein, Jamie Janover and the whole crew. And so we're going to get a real chance on this trip to actually explore the pyramids inside and out. So I'm really excited by this, what's going to happen here. And just behind me here you can just see the pyramids. Absolutely, they're so big. Behind me is the Great Pyramid, and over in that direction we have the second pyramid, but today we're going to just look at the Great Pyramid. That's almost polished, isn't it?
Yeah.
God, look at that. That is a good example.
Yeah. Right. The apex of the pyramid is 1/4 of an inch off the base, which is 13 acres. Okay, so you place 2,300,000 stones, and by the time you're done, you're a quarter. You might have been perfect when you built it, but now you know it's a quarter of an inch off, right? Like thousands of years later. So the pyramids are not 4 faces; they're 8 faces, and I think from this angle you kind of can't see it. Okay, at this time, you can see that it dips in the middle, and during the autumn equinox and the spring equinox, viewed from above, when the sun rises, you can see very clearly the 8 faces that the pyramid makes. And so that was only a few days ago.
Indent.
Yeah, there's an indent, so it goes in and then back out.
Yeah.
And it's very precise, actually. When you sit from here, it doesn't look precise, but when you sit from above, it's very precise delineation between the 2 faces. And it might have been, there's a lot of theory, but I actually think that it's structural. It's for structural reasons. When the casing stones, like when it dips inside like that, the casing stones can weigh on each other in the middle. They can, lean on each other in the middle. So I think that might be why it was done that way. But it's remarkable that the thing is aligned and done that way in such a way that on the equinoxes it becomes visible. And you're talking about like this guy on this corner going to this guy on the other corner going, dude, your block is like 5, 10th of an inch too far left. It's like, what? Really? Right. The other thing is that the thing is completely level, right? So you have to start with an amazing, because you got to keep moving so that you get the right angles all the way through, right? So this is very amazing. And I think there's a variation of, 20 centimeters or a little bit more, maybe, between the sides. The variation, not the level, but the variation in length, right, is only like a few centimeters, right? I can't remember how many. On the largest sandstone stone on the planet, so you got this huge plate, and then you got this huge building, very heavy building, on it, oscillating, resonating, so the whole thing is like a big tuning fork, right? And then at the entrance of the temple, you got these huge obelisks, like tuning forks, sitting on the stuff. And so the material you're using is very critical to tuning the resonance frequency of the whole thing, right? And so it's highly engineered. And you can see, even the way the blocks are carved, and that they're all not the same size, and they're all in different. So this would be like, in engineering, if you're very advanced, you would be calculating how the waveforms propagate through the system based on the shape that you're using and how it's gonna create you're gonna cut corners, you're gonna do a few things to like tune the whole thing so that eventually you get like this high resonance, like harmonic relationship of all the buildings together, right? And you get that sense when you walk around these complex, when you walk around the temples, I mean, this is really interesting because, okay, you got basalt, but you have a lot, or we're gonna go through some of the evidence of advanced tooling is actually found on this, on these stones. I think there's one piece right there. So everybody, if you look at this piece here. Okay.
I don't have change right now. That's why I didn't want you doing it. You're wasting your time.
So you can see, right, this kind of surfacing, okay, where you can see there must have been a blade in here. You can see like the thickness, you can see the thickness of the blade, right? And look how smooth that is. You can see the striation from the cutting, right? And the thickness of the blade. Okay, so this here, you know, you don't expect that because
so obvious.
These people were supposed to have copper chisel only, right? Copper chisel and hammers, right? So how do you get this? All right, well, you don't, and you see it here on basalt. Which, what is the hardness of basalt? Yeah, it's fairly hard. What is it? 6 on the scale?
I think it's 6.4 or
okay.
6.5.
Yeah. So you know, diamond is 10, the hardest, right? Granite is like 7.
7 something, 7.2.
7.2, and then so this is still very hard stone. Like copper doesn't do it, right? It doesn't. I think if we go to the other corner,
Yeah, Diorite is almost 9.
And there's statues.
You're right. Yeah, we
They're
have
right.
a statues of the King Kefren at the Egyptian Museum that you can't cut it with anything except of diamond.
Well, the only thing harder is diamond to cut it. All right. Let's go to this corner. If we go to the other corner, there's another example of advanced tooling that is even more challenging to explain. So you can see there's one here, right? So this is a perfect cut. You can see, you know, like a saw, you know, like a diamond saw type of thing, power tool, right? Far from like copper chisel. Like far from copper chisel.
How deep is it?
I think one of the most important things to realize about being here on the Giza Plateau is the similarity in style we find with Peru specifically and other places around the world. But Peru is the most intriguing because everything I'm seeing here, every time I come here, you just see the similarities with the polygonal stonework, the way they cut and shape stone, just the style of everything, just the mastery and precision. And you can see why people believe, and I'm starting to believe this now, is that the same people may have been involved in this construction, or certainly the same teachers of, you know, the architect teachers who then traveled around the world. So this is just amazing.